nuts. The cost of a server. Those idiots. You know, when you try to accept CCP's bullshit at face value, it it holds together because you're not scratching the surface. And once you scratch the surface and you take it the the concept of, say, increased developer costs, increased costs for running the game, oh boo hoo, right? And then you scratch beneath the surface and you read a couple of articles, literally, and then you go, wait a minute. One of the biggest and I'm quoting, one of the biggest costs for any data center is energy usage, right? And then your brain immediately goes to, wait a minute, isn't Iceland the cash cow of crypto miners because of the cheap energy? And then your brain goes, oh, yeah. Isn't it interesting how CCP has gotten away with dirt cheap server costs because it's in Iceland? And you got to wonder, could they have survived as a shit poor gaming company running a screensaver with a built-in chat function that they frittered away their revenue on the trendiest of trendiest trends to make Hilmar's ego puff up huge, and then they have to give pink slips to people because the Hilmar wants everybody in those divestments to, or did I use the right word? It in their related sub companies to work on EVE because he just wants another article about breaking something in PC Gamer. His baby. So it's kind of ironic that these idiots have managed to survive for so long, and you think, oh, that's why. It's because one of the biggest costs for any data center is energy usage, and Iceland is pretty much one of the cheapest places for energy in the world. And you go, oh, and yeah, how much have programmer wages increased? You're like, okay, energy costs are really low in Iceland, and they've got an on-site server with dirt cheap energy. It's probably even cheaper to run now than back in 2001, right? More advanced stuff, same price, right? And of course, you look at the actual hard data, and it's like, okay, they've increased by 30% approximately since 2001 the wages for software's programmers and developers. The entry level stuff and all that interesting things. It's okay. Well, wages have increased. That's pretty cool. But it hasn't increased dramatically, right? So they're saying we need to increase the prices of subscriptions because wages have increased. And you're like, you're in Iceland. What other... Oh, right. You wanted to do NFTs, but Pearl Labs shat its pearly pants because of Axel Gaming losing $500 million in NFTs from a theft previous month. Actually, within weeks, 2 weeks, sorry. And that tore the rug out from CCP. And so in order to impress at the next freaking quarterly sales thing, they announced the wage increase because guess what? RuneScape, was it RuneScape? Announced their price increase. And did they follow through with it? RuneScape, is it RuneScape price increase? Was it RuneScape? Pretty sure it was RuneScape. Back in April, right? And it should have gone through by now, right? And they only increased by 20%. But CCP is like, hold my beer. Yeah. So they increased it. Did? Okay. Jagex, right? Yeah. Okay, so it went through. Yeah, and that was the previous month. So not only did CCP have a bandwagon they can jump on, but they were also jumping off the bandwagon of the stolen NFTs. And Pearly Pants Abbas shitting themselves over that theft. So that's why we're not getting NFTs this year. But you heard Hilmar when he announced that, and there was cheers, and then immediately afterwards he continued with his but. So it's the greed and avarice and stupidity of these people. Oh, but you know, people are idiots if they don't microtransact. God. Yeah, that was a quote from a CEO recently. But yeah, you know, yeah, okay, wages have increased by 25% since 2001. Fair enough. But I'll bet the cost of running a server have always been cheap for them. And the hardware has been getting better for the same price, just like computers were $2,000 back then, and they're still $2,000 now. So, yeah. God, you just scratch under the surface, and it's like, wait a minute, you know, you greedy little lying bastards, you know. It's like you wanted to prove to Pearl Abbas that you were still worth a company, letting get away with all this crap, you know. Yes, the only gatekeepers for keeping Pearl Abbas from microtransacting everything. I don't see any freaking difference, you know. It's it's a I hope that, well, CCP has wanted to microtransact like crazy since we know 2012, you know, and it's been 10 years, and they've been trying to push the edge of the envelope, and we're not even close to thinking it's a good idea. I just, oh, the Asian market, no, the Asians got it shoved down their throat, and especially about the mobile game stuff, definitely, right? Because that's just, you know, Diablo immoral, you know. Oh, God. Anyways.